Well, Tom, nice to meet you. A belated congratulations.
Thank you.
How's that title commissioner feel? Has that fitting yet?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I was a commissioner of 2 Division II conferences about 20 years ago, and and then went over on the administrative side and on the college side there, but I've really enjoyed it. It's been great to be back in the commissioner role. We got great people in our league, great leadership amongst our presidents and ADs, and so I feel very fortunate to join a league that's wants to be on the forefront of issues nationwide, makes a real difference in the communities that they're in, and stands for something. It's very, very important, our conference is. We have a great reputation nationally, and so I've really enjoyed it. 7 months in, so I'm just getting dangerous now with my knowledge level.
What have you learned so far about the conference that you did know from day one?
Yeah, I think a couple things. I think number one, I was a Division II commissioner, and then I was at the FBS level for most of the last 17, 18 years. And I think you get kind of tunnel vision into when I was athletic director at a Group of 5 school at Akron, was focus on those, and then and so you come into the FCS, into the Big Sky, and you realize that a lot of the schools and a lot of what we're doing here is not a lot different than what's happening at that other level. But the importance, and the adage I always say is, whenever there's a state name in the school, it means a lot to the people there. And that's the way it is in the Big Sky. I mean, it's, I think about, it's Montana State, Idaho State, Eastern Washington. I mean, the games that they play to those people is as big as Alabama, Auburn, Ohio State, Michigan. And I think you really appreciate that once you're involved in it. And so that part of it has been fun to get to know. And then secondly, I think from a leadership perspective, whenever you're a commissioner, you're kind of only as good as the presidents are going to allow you to be. And what I love about our presidents group is they value athletics as part of the educational opportunity on campus, and they see athletics as that front porch to the university and to bring alumni in and they want to work together to help build that brand. And so if they want to do that with the Big Sky, then we got a bright future in front of us.
Well, football bringing us all together over these few days here in Spokane, and when you talk about FCS conferences, if the Big Sky isn't delivering the best football across the board, top to bottom, pretty darn close. 3 teams ranked, I think, very high, or at least fairly high in the national polls. You had national championship contenders, Eastern going all the way to the title game, play here or there. They're number 1, knocking off a pretty decent program in North Dakota State. Talk about the football that you guys play.
Yeah, no, I mean we're the preeminent football conference, top to bottom, in the nation. I'm proud to say that. I'm proud of the depth that we have in our conference. With the number of teams getting up to 6 teams I've seen getting preseason rankings, and that's impressive. We have 13 members, 6 to be mentioned in top 25s. So that's exciting. The depth of our league is our strength. And I listen to our coaches talk and our student athletes talk about, you better win your home games, because those road games are going to be very difficult, no matter where you're playing, no matter who you're playing. And we have a great history and tradition of success in the conference, from national championships to players in the NFL and that just rolls along. And I think this is the kickoff event, right? This is when the buzz starts. People start getting excited for the football season. I'm fired up for my first full season, and to get out and see the passion amongst the conference and see the level of play, and very excited about that. So I think, as we look at this year, we have high expectations. We have teams that can win the national championship this year, and we look forward to the path, and hopefully they can do that.
Have you been able to get to all of those? I mean, your schools are all, you've got a large geographical footprint. Have you been able to get out to most, if not all, of them?
Yeah, actually, I've not made it to every school yet. That'll happen here in the next couple months. I've had kind of a few focuses since I joined back in end of December. We spent a lot of time with our staff, really learning about them and what they're doing. Secondly, we had our basketball tournament for the first time in Boise, and that was a big thing for us as a league, so we spent a lot of time on that. And then third, we're moving our offices here in a few weeks down to Farmington, Utah, just north of Salt Lake. So spent a lot of time. It's like building a new house. We've picked out carpet and chairs and desks and all of that stuff. So a lot of time on that. So now is the time when I'll start to begin kind of my official campus visits, going to visit with the presidents, ADs, and other administrators, our student athletes, and get a chance to really get a feel and a pulse for what makes each campus special within the conference.
Hopefully hopefully see a little football along the way.
That's the plan, absolutely.
That's a good plan. You mentioned Boise in basketball. Talk about that location in terms of a host moving forward for the tournament and how it went last week.
Yeah, we had our first year there. I didn't have much, obviously, any history with our tournament, but people were excited to move to Boise. We'd heard good things. I made one trip before, and so I had high expectations. And John Casper on our staff and his championship staff did a great job putting on the event, and it exceeded my expectations. The fans showed up. The venue was great. The hotel was great. We had a lot of interactive stuff outside the arena, which was great. And it's cool to see people kind of make an event of it. But most importantly, the feedback I heard from our coaches and student athletes was that it felt like a real tournament. And that's what you want. You want some buzz, you want some excitement. Really looking forward to year two. We can make it bigger and better. And the city of Boise was behind us. The Sports Commission and Convention and Visitors Bureau did a good job. We're going to lean on them some more to continue to build it, and look forward to a bright future there.
Tell us about SAAC, the Student Athlete Athletic Council. Excuse me, Tom. A vote recently passing on that. Tell us what that was all about. And
sure.
What it means.
So, the student athletes have always had a voice in that, but it's never been formalized before in our conference. And so essentially, our administrators passed legislation for our conference to allow the Student Athlete Advisory Committee to have a vote amongst our conference structure. So when legislation's passed to change the all-conference team or to change this policy about a sport or whatever, the student athletes will have a vote, an actual vote, just like each school would for that legislation. So in some ways, it's kind of putting your money where your mouth is. And so making it real for us, and that's a big step for us. Our Student Athlete Advisory Committee is the best of the best at our schools. It's kind of the type of thing where, people, we need to ask their opinions because it's important, but also because they're really bright young people. They bring great ideas, actually a lot of times in areas we're not thinking of what's important to them or what's important to their future. And so by formalizing that, it's the right thing to do for us.
Are you guys kind of unique in that regard? Are there other conferences doing this as
It's
well?
just starting to become something that's catching hold here now. So I don't think we're the first, but I do know that it's not in every conference, and so then it's up to us to make sure it's not just the rubber stamp of voting, that they actually engage in the process and that their feelings are part of what we're doing.
You're not only the commissioner of the conference, and much of the focus, of course, is football and basketball. That's kind of how it is, but there's a lot of other sports out there that fall under your umbrella, and that includes cross country. And you have the NAU, for example. They're building a bit of a powerhouse with their third straight national championship. That I would think is something that an entire conference, whether you are a cross country fan or not, has to be extremely proud of, and again brings a focus back to the high quality of student athlete in the Big Sky.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, anytime you can have a mid-major conference win a national team championship, that's pretty special. It doesn't happen very often that the big boys allow that to happen. They've built a great program at Northern Arizona, obviously, with great runners, and they compete, obviously, in track just as well. But to have the national champion in cross country back-to-back years, that's truly special and something we can all be proud of. What it shows to the student athletes that we're recruiting for every sport is come play in the Big Sky. You have an opportunity to compete against the best and to beat the best and to be a national champion. And that's what we ask, is have our schools, and each school has their own little niche, right? Where some sports are better than others, but nonetheless, to have a national champion, we're going to wave that flag very proudly.
And finally, before I let you go, as you look at the big picture of college athletics, and as we look out, let's say over the next year or two, what do you think some of the more pressing, important issues are out there, and some of the things that you'd like to dig even deeper into?
The things that are kind of dominating the national picture right now, there's the name and likeness image is all about, can the student athlete, if they can sell T-shirts with their name on it, can they do that and make money? NCAA legislation does not permit that from happening right now. So there's a committee that's going to study that, and I think you'll see some changes. There's some loosening of the rules, make it much more student athlete friendly. That's certainly one of the things. Pay for play is always going to be a topic in Division I athletics as money flows into the system at a greater and greater level. That's a long distance decision, lots of issues around that, that will take time. Concussions continue to be a big part of what we're talking about, and player safety. How do we make our sports safer and that? And then, the old adage of money, right? It always comes back to, in some ways, to money, of how do we fund our athletic programs at a level that's representative of what our goals and desires are. State funding is challenging at the university level. Schools are having to come up with new way to get money. Athletic departments are having to generate more and more money. So how do we do that effectively? How do we engage the fans? Attendance is dropping in some events. You get students that aren't as engaged, maybe. So there's challenges there. What we do have is, in my mind, and I'm biased obviously, we have the purest sports available in the world, is college sports. Young people playing for their school and their teammates, and being proud to represent what they are, and having the ability to capture the attention of an entire community, an entire state, an entire area by what they're doing. And the passion of college athletics has never been stronger. And so it's up to us that are in the administrative post to make sure that we continue to grow the enterprise. But there's lots of challenges there, so it'll keep us all busy.
Tom, we appreciate your time again. Congratulations on the job. All the best moving forward, and we'll see you at some football games along the way.
Sounds great, Tom. Thanks for having me.